Hello, welcome to Mobility. Thank you so much for joining. We've got 30 minutes to loosen everything up. We're going to start with the ankles and kind of move upward, working to a squat position. So I want you to start in a toe sit position on your mat. Make sure you've got plenty of space on either side of you. What we're going for is as much big toe extension as possible. So don't worry so much about the little toes. I really want you to focus on getting as much of your weight on those big toes as you possibly can. And in this position, feel free to lean forward, feel free to move out or gradually work your way into the position. Even from here, you can press your weight down. But eventually, maybe not today, I do want you to be in this position somewhat comfortably. When you're here, we're going to start taking some deep breaths into the belly, expand the rib cage in 3D. And try to breathe in through the nose, and you can breathe out any way you'd like. If you're in this position and your toes are extended, I want you to try to take your next 5 breaths here without letting up. Just be mindful of how everything feels. And let's take 2 more nice deep breaths. From here, we're going to switch into a laces down position. So let's get those laces down, and we're going to try to get all of our weight back on our heels. Again, you can gradually shift your weight back down if that's what works for you. But I'm going to take my hands behind me just to support me a little bit, and I'm going to start doing some lift-offs here. Lift-offs, I'm trying to stretch the front of that shin and the ankle as much as I can. If you already feel the stretch without lifting off, that's fine. You can just hang out here and breathe. If you want to add a little extra here, you can start to lean back even farther. You can even go both at the same time. A little pop is no big deal as long as there's no pain. Remember, the point here is to build resiliency through your tissues. You don't get that by fighting through pain. So if anything is painful, I want you to back off immediately. Okay, one last lean back. Now we're going to move into a toe flexion. So I'm going to bring my left foot up a little bit. And I'm trying to get my toes to curl underneath as much as possible, focusing again mostly on the big toe. So you can do this dynamically. And that big first knuckle, if that's coming up, you're not really getting that toe flexion. So I want you to try to keep that big knuckle down the floor as you lean back and move around. Two more if you're going dynamically, or one more breath if you're holding. And then let's bring that left side back behind you and underneath, and bring that right foot up. And press that first big toe knuckle down and in, and start to rock back. Find your best stretch. Two more. And let's shift all the way down seated. We're going to get some ankle rotations. So let's just get the little L sit position. And I'm just going to go one ankle so that I know that I can focus. Make sure that my hip isn't rotating as well. So imagine you've got your cup of coffee, boom, right there on your knee. Don't spill it. Left foot gas pedal down, rotate out, pull up as far as you can towards the shin, rotate in, and all the way back around. Nice and slow and in control. Make sure you're fighting for more range. find sticky spots, I want you to even slow down more, squeeze even harder through those spots. Go ahead and switch directions when you're ready. And let's go ahead and switch sides. Make sure that knee and that hip doesn't move, and it's all coming from your right ankle. Smooth it out. If you have herky-jerky spots, that's where you need to slow down because that's where you lack control. After this next full round, go ahead and switch side or switch directions. And after this, we're going to move into that combat base. So pull your left ankle or heel in and then just shift yourself up. Combat base is here. We're going for ankle mobility. So I want you to put most, if not all, of your weight into that right knee. And we're just going to kind of rock back and forth. Find your end range. Your heel should not be coming up off the floor. In an ideal world, that knee is coming pretty significantly over your toes for a properly mobile ankle. I've got some restrictions in here, so really try to work through those with these next moves. Next rock, stay at that end range, push that weight down and in. Okay, we call these pails and rails. What that really means probably isn't all that important. It's just important that you use the appropriate effort for where you are. You can take your hand behind you and you can push into the ground farther to get more of a passive stretch here. If we had all day, we would hold this for 2 minutes and then we would get our contractions going on. We don't really have that much time to just spin on our ankles, so we're about ready to go. We're going to start gas pedaling down with this foot, but nothing is going to move. It's an isometric contraction. So start pushing down 10% effort, 20% effort, 30% effort, 40. You're pushing down 50% effort and hold that effort for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Immediately switch directions. Pull those toes up toward the knee. Keep pulling those toes up towards the knee and relax. And then try to find a new passive stretch. So try to push that knee even farther in front of the toes without the heel coming up. We're just going to do 2 reps like that. Remember, ideal world, 2-minute stretch, pails, rails. So pails when you're pushing down, the rails when you're pulling up. Today we're only working up towards a 50% effort. Go ahead and start gas pedaling down 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50. Hold that 50% effort. 3, 2. When you reverse, you're going 100%. Pull those toes up. Keep pulling as hard as you can. 3, 2, 1, and relax all the way out. And let's switch sides into that left side combat base. We're sitting down on the right heel, and we're pushing that knee over the left toes. Let's move in and out dynamically. Make sure that left heel doesn't come up off the floor. Two, 1, and hold that passive end range. Remember, you can push the ground behind you. Push that weight into your knee. And kind of fight quickly through that passive stretch. Take a breath And let's start to press down 10%, 20%. Push down with that whole foot, 30, 40, 50, hold. And reverse, pull those toes up. Try to pull that knee out over the toes. 3, 2, 1, and relax into stretch. The more restricted your mobility, the more time you should spend in the stretch, and the greater percentage of your max effort you should use in those contractions. Okay, start pressing down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% effort. 3, 2, 1, reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax all the way out. And we're going to go face down on your mat. Right. Once you get there, let's start bringing that left knee up and out to the side, and the foot is all the way in. And let's start bringing that right knee up and out to the side. We do our hip opener quite a bit, where we're here, but our feet are wide. We're actually going to bring those feet in for an upside down butterfly. So my feet, the bottom of them is together. My knees are as wide as they'll get. And I'm pushing my hips down as close to the floor as I can possibly get. Get comfy, because we're going to hang out for a little while. You really want those tissues on the inside of the legs to relax. So as I'm trying to relax myself into stretch, I'm going to take some belly breaths. Nice, slow breath out. As you breathe out, try to relax even a little bit deeper. Maybe pull those heels up towards your glutes a little bit more. One more big breath here, and then we'll move on. Go ahead and release the bottom of the feet. And let's push the hands into the floor and work your way up into quadruped. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Okay, take your back and I want you to crunch yourself, right? So we're not doing any of this spine extension stuff. We're gonna stay flexed, like you're pulling your hips up into your ribs. Keeping that crunch, I want you to kick back with a straight leg. That leg stays straight and you're going to sweep it all the way around as high as you can and then set. As soon as you set, you're going to lift back up and you're going to bring it all the way back behind you. Set your toe and then do it again. Notice, if you're watching the screen, when I extend, that's all hip extension. It's not spine extension. So if you're going higher than this, it's probably your back. Stay crunched. Give me some reps. Slow it down. Control it all the way up. Set, lift, rotate back. Here's 4. We're going to go for 5. Stay crunched, check in, make sure it's not your spine moving. And as you come up for 5, set your foot. Now we're gonna rock back. When we rock, we're gonna rock and the toes are gonna come up and that back is gonna stay nice and straight. Rock forward, push that hip down and in. Rock back, lift the toes. 5, rock back, lift the toes, freeze, take a breath. All right, coming into your mobility challenge, bring it up here, boom. The mobility challenge is going to challenge you to control the crossbody, and you're still gonna have to breathe in this position. So first, lock yourself in place, lift that left foot, doesn't have to go high, place your right hand on your right ear, and then rotate that right elbow up and away as high as you can. 3 breaths. Set the foot, rotate in, yowza. Right. If we had more time, we'd spend more time there, but I want you to lift that foot, sweep it back, set the knee. Now we're switching sides. Come in a little bit, I don't have space. We're going right side. So remember, crunch first, pull the hips into the ribs, extend that right leg back, check in, make sure it's your hip. Straight leg, sweep out to the side. As soon as that foot touches down, lift and rotate back. Touch the toe, give me 5 good reps. There's 3. Challenge yourself on this last rep. Set, relax, and start to rock back. When you rock, lift those toes up 5 times. And come back for 5. Hold, take a nice deep breath. Rock forward. Lock your position in. Lift that right foot. Left hand to left ear. Rotate up as high as you can and breathe. And bring it all the way down. Lift that right foot again and sweep back behind you. Yikes. That is not easy. Whew. Right. Relax for a second. I need to relax for a second. My goodness. We're going to get into a pigeon position, and we're just going to hold that position. You can do this any number of ways. I'm going to drive my right knee and ankle through. You can just be here. You can extend the left side back. You always move into a more advanced 90-degree position here, and then it's up to you what you do from here. You can absolutely shift the left hip down and in. You can shift your hips down towards your shin. You can bring your chest to the knee or across. If you're feeling really good and really comfortable in this position, you can release the hands on your back and let your body weight sink you down. Goal is a right side glute stretch. So I do want you to hunt around and you find your best line of tension and just breathe. Two more breaths. Slowly bring yourself up and find your way to your other side, whatever way works best for you. All right, so my left leg is through. Get wherever you need to be, 90 degrees, whatever it ends up being. And then I want you to hunt around, right? Exploration. Every body is different. Every body is going to be in a different shape. So find your shape. Find your stretch. and breathe into it. As you find the best position for you, relax into the stretch. Last breath here. We're going to get all the way up onto our feet. So work your way up. And we're going to get into a sumo squat position. So sumo squat being my feet are a little bit wider probably and definitely turned out a little bit than they normally would be in a normal squat. So we're going to kind of hang out here. I just want to shift side to side, see how those hips feel after all that good stretching and mobility stuff. Try to push the knee over the toes. From that center position here, you're going to take that right knee and you're going to rotate it in. Try to tap it to the floor. Rotate back till your foot is flat. Left knee. We're going to do 3 each and then we'll relax out of this position. 2, 2, 3, 3. Stand all the way up. And then I want you to bring your feet in for more of a normal squat, okay? All right, here's what's up. Squat yourself down in control. From here, when we stand up, we're actually gonna keep the left hand down. We're gonna drive the right hand up into that windmill position, right? My knees are softly bent, but I'm driving that right hip to the sky. Release into your squat. Right hand to the floor, left hand to the sky as you come up into that windmill. Release into squat. Left hand, reach with the right, lift the hips. Squat, right hand down. We're gonna do 1 more each side. Squat, left hand down, reach and lift the hips. Squat, right hand down. Come down into your squat, find your position. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Press the knees out and away. Chest as tall as you can get it. We're gonna take 3 breaths and then we are done for the day. Go ahead and release yourself all the way to the floor. Take a deep breath into the nose. Let it all out. I hope you feel amazing and you're super mobilized. Thanks for coming. Check back soon for my next class. See you then.